The irresistible force.
The following contest is a steel cage match. Making her way to the ring from San Diego, California, Nia Jax.
Hey, whenever Nia Jax enters an arena, whenever Nia Jax enters a match, everyone takes notice of the dominance that this woman is capable of.
She's beautiful, she's powerful, she's dangerous. It's like $1 million smile on a wrecking ball. Nia Jax is the irresistible force to be reckoned with. Women's division, I hope you're ready for a fight.
Tamina is a scary woman.
And her opponent, from Pacific Islands, Tamina.
That is a scary human being.
The bell rings and Tamina looks eager to get to work as quickly as she can.
And there are few things more unforgiving than the cold steel of a cage match.
Boom, what impact! Oh, incredible impact!
Back suplex. Oh, no.
Oh, high impact! They call Nia Jax the irresistible force, and she's proven that moniker true as she's overpowered the competition in NXT and WWE.
You ain't kidding, Cole. In both NXT and WWE, she'd tear through up-and-coming competitors in just a minute or two. She also turned in some dominating performances against the likes of Bayley, Sasha Banks, Alicia Fox, and Mickie James.
The two of you were discussing Nia Jax being irresistible, and I have to agree. You know, I recently invited Nia to my mother's house and offered to make her some apple pie. And technically, she didn't say no.
That's not what they mean by irresistible, Saxton. As the irresistible force of WWE, that means she plows through competition. Actions speak louder than words, gentlemen.
Ooh, what impact. The steel cage is a massive enclosure that stands 15 feet in height. For almost 35 years, a select group of high flyers have taken their aerial assaults to greater heights. And when I say that, I mean superstars climb to the top of the steel cage, the real high-rent district, and dive off onto their opponent. And that all started with one man in October of 1983, Jimmy Superfly Snuka.
To your point earlier, Byron, we've definitely seen some unbelievable attacks be launched from the top of the steel cage. And you mentioned the most iconic, the steel cage match.
Oh, man, what a leg drop. Victory leg drop. Can't waste any time here.
The rivalry between Ultimate Warrior and Ravishing Rick Rude began during the Super Pose Down at the 1989 Royal Rumble. Then it progressed to where both superstars battled over the Intercontinental Championship. At SummerSlam 90, the rivals met inside a 15-foot-high steel cage for the WWE Championship. Victory could be achieved by pinfall or escape from the cage.
Corey, the WWE Championship match between the Ultimate Warrior and Ravishing Rick Rude was the second half of the double main event at 1990 SummerSlam. The rivalry between the Warrior and the Ravishing One was so heated that no one knew what to expect once the two men were able to battle inside a steel cage.
Great power.
Oh, man. That looks like it hurts. The best way to describe combatants clashing inside a steel cage is its battle of attrition. Sometimes a superstar is left with no choice but to fight fire with fire and do whatever they need to do in order to win the match. And sometimes it comes down to a superstar doing whatever they need to do in order to survive.
Byron, you touched on this earlier, but it's so important for a superstar to accept that there's nowhere to run and nowhere to hide in a steel cage match. That the conflict will be resolved within the 15-foot-high steel walls that surround the ring. And that losing a cage match can mean much more than a mark in the loss column. For some, it has meant the end of their career.
It's difficult to describe the damage that can be done to a superstar who competes in a steel cage match. We see the physical harm, but we don't see the psychological effects from being inside the cage. Make no mistake about it, Michael. The steel cage truly represents survival of the fittest. We talk about how important stipulations are in a steel cage match. If superstars sign a contract where the only way to win is escape the cage and have both your feet touch the floor, the competitors must have a plan. Especially since you have to be comfortable trying to escape through the cage door as you do climbing over the top of the cage and vice versa.
Beautiful technique. Oh, nasty impact.
Corey, you touched on something moments ago that's so important for the combatants in a steel cage match to remember. A superstar must be able to think offensively to figure out how they're going to escape the cage. They must think defensively at the same time so they can prevent their opponent from getting out of the cage first and winning the match.
While a superstar must become comfortable with escaping the cage by both exiting the cage door and by climbing over the top of the cage, they must also be aware of their attributes and what's best for them. Let's just say if you're a giant like The Big Show, The Undertaker, Kane, or even Braun Strowman, it's preferred to exit through the cage door.
Oh, man, by the hair whip.
She is on fire.
Good night.
Good grief. Oh, man, what a leg drop. It'll be tough. Leg drop! It'll be tough for Tamina to come back from this.
The WWE Universe is coming unglued, an absolute fever pitch here. Oh, shot right to the kick. I'm told her photo galleries are responsible for a good portion of WWE's.com's huge traffic numbers last month.
The WWE Universe has seen the evolution of the steel cage in the enclosure known today as Hell in a Cell. The first time an enclosed cage was seen was in October of 1983 in the last Battle of Atlanta. The enclosed cage was seen a few years later in the War Games match from the NWA. There were even cages stacked on top of each other like WCW's Tower of Doom.
Byron, we talk about the progression of steel cage matches and the type of structures that have been spawned from them. I need to point out that some cages have been electrified. One was made from bamboo in the form of a Punjabi prison match. And of course, the Elimination Chamber with glass pods and steel doors.
Yes! Takes it!
I can't believe what we just witnessed. Steel cage matches never fail to surprise and amaze.
She's taking care of business. That's a woman on a mission. Ain't nothing better than action like this.
Here is your winner, Nia Jax.
Looking dominant at times in the victory.
There's nothing more pure than picking up a win in a good old-fashioned one-on-one fight.
As we close the book on this match, I need to remind everybody just how big of a win this